No, it was a surprise to Arletta, it was a surprise to Jane Hermson, it was a surprise to Carl Scharf, it was a surprise to me.
Well, obviously
We're not
it's
gonna
done
do-
and
we're
we
not
have
gonna
to
do
pay
it.
for it.
No, that's hindsight.
But I do agree with Denny that I think we have too many of these things that come to us and we have to make a decision that night. And maybe we need to have more workshops or do something, because there have been some things that it's like, it comes to us on Friday and bang, we got to make a decision. And I think we should have more time.
And as much as we can, Carter and I even discussed this earlier this week, because I know that's something you have brought up before. And so we were looking at the possibility, as some of these things that we know we're going to add to the agenda, that we put some of that information on the Dropbox for you to see that earlier. The thing is, a lot of this stuff happens, well, like even our next item, that just came up, yesterday? We got that in the mail, or the day before? So a lot of this stuff, and we have to have the agenda approved no later than noon this Saturday before our Monday meeting, in order for the agenda to get out to everybody and be printed and notified everybody, this type of thing. But some of this stuff that needs to be addressed now and can't wait for 2 weeks, we don't even get as much of a notice. And so Carter and I discussed about trying to start, as things come up that we know we have to address at a meeting, at a council meeting, to start putting that information on the Dropbox for you, so you can see some of it and kind of mull around. Now, doing that, though, there may be occasion that we give you information and that doesn't show up at your next agenda for one reason or another, either the length of the other things, whatever. That's the only way, as we discussed it, that we could think of as a possible way to give you information quicker than what you get. But it's certainly not going to be foolproof. A lot of it is timing, and we'll do as much as we can to get things to you as fast as you can. But sometimes that's just next to impossible.
Well, these bills and stuff like this, I understand. But there are things that come to us, people come, I'm not, I don't want to beat the bug thing to death, but that thing, it was like we had to vote on it that night, and we didn't have to vote on it that night. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about.
Like the $500,000 heater we had to vote on it, boy, now.
But there are things that I think...
We did have to vote on that because we had our back to the wall on the grant.
On the grant, yeah.
The state grant was the one that caused us to have to vote on that so quickly.
You're talking about the heater?
about that,
Yes.
not the
He had
bugs.
all summer to make that decision. He had all summer to figure out how to do that.
Well,
The
that's
city
my
waited
point.
till-
I don't make
Time
the
out,
point
time
that-
out. I don't think anybody out there, including myself,
I
wants
know.
to be here till midnight just
No.
discussing something we have no control over now and has already happened.
Bonnie, we can
and
stay
we
till
can learn
midnight if
from.
we have to.
No, we can't. I won't even stay that long.
I didn't mean
I'll
to bring
close
that
this session
up.
before then.
All I'm saying is I think there are projects that we feel, at least I feel like we're being asked to make a decision on right there without really any background. And okay, more information in the Dropbox is important, but I think sometimes maybe we need more workshops to discuss some things. And we don't have to agree on that tonight.
No.
But I do think that we rush some decisions just because, just because.
And I'm sure this is not politically correct, but in my opinion, part of that is you're still learning about how government works. You've had a lot of experience in businesses, corporations, but there is a little bit of difference between that and government. So that's part of it too.
You know
So I do
something,
agree with
Bonnie?
you. I'm taking what you're saying in thing. We've heard it before. And at this point, I think that discussion is closed, and
No,
we
it's
need
not
to
closed.
we
I
need
got
to
one other
move
thing.
on.
I got one other thing.
The last
You keep
chance.
bringing that up, but I'm going to tell you, when we first had our orientation for city council, they told us how to anticipate how slowly government moved. I mean, that's what they told us at that thing, that you have 3 readings, you have all this other stuff. Be prepared for government to move slow. Well, it's absolutely contradictory to what you just said.
You know,
So-
we have a League of Cities. I think what you should write up all those concerns, send it to the League of Cities.
No, I'm not gonna write up
Well,
those
and get their
concerns.
opinion of
I
it,
just-
since they're the ones
all
that in
I'm
that
saying is
training
we
made that
need to-
comment.
All I'm saying is we don't need to rush things.
Just trying to give you another option. Okay, we're moving forward with number 17. Do I have a motion to approve this payment? Adopt this resolution to pay this bill.
I so move.
Motion from Brown. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Grover. Roll call, please.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holland,
Yes.
Linius,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Stallings.
Yes.
Thank you. Number 18, motion to adopt a resolution approving the invoice totaling $29,461.58 for work performed by Snyder and Associates Incorporated for the Airport Master Plan. This is something that just did come in 2 days ago. I know you guys, especially the Airport Committee, asked us to put the plan on the Dropbox. This is what we got, was all these big maps that we haven't even opened to see their total size, and this book, to try to put that, and it's got maps in it too that don't even fit into our copy machine. So that's why this did not get on the Dropbox. This is why we sent out an email, especially to the Airport Committee, to let you know it was here, and if you wanted to see it, to stop by and get it. And even if the Airport Committee wants to take it to a meeting, you're more than welcome. We put it on the agenda because it's something that came in for a payment. We've been holding this for how long, I think?
It was presented to the council back in September 23rd
Okay.
for approval of payment, and the council denied payment as they asked for a report.
Right.
So Snyder,
Actually, Snyder was representative, said, we don't want you to pay us. We don't want you to pay us until this is done.
so
And they've
this,
been till now doing that?
it would be good to get this cleaned up before fiscal year end, because we have to do the
I think we ought to
drawdown
wait a couple
on it
years
too.
on this.
We're waiting for 26,000 federal funding back to the city.
This was presented to the council back on September 23rd, 2013, and it was, that time was denied approval until we received the report. Guess what? We received the
Yeah,
report
but
yesterday.
Denny and I aren't always on the same page, but on this page we are, that I don't think we should pay $29,000 for a document because they mailed it to us. I mean, and I think it
Is
can
there
be
a
put
thing if
on
we don't, we go
Dropbox.
into the next
Whatever
year?
can be, should be. Cause that's not something you can sit down at our airport
Oh,
meeting
definitely
and go
not,
through.
definitely not.
No.
Like I say, Barb and I didn't even open these.
I don't care about the big, I
The
mean, you can
maps.
put that book on, you can put that booklet on Dropbox, and if there's something too big, then that doesn't go on.
Well,
Skip those pages.
or you could just use your iPad's camera and just take a picture of it and just upload it that way too.
Another thing you could do, you could discount because they've taken so long to come up with this story.
And if you don't want us to receive that money back from the government, which was approved, or the federal government's amount of money, then we can just ignore this. And then we never will get back our federal share of the $29,461.
How much is that
We've
gonna be?
gotten back everything of the project except this last payment. We cannot draw that down until this payment is made.
How much was that?
It's your choice how long we wait for that. We've already been waiting since
If you're talking
2000.
$5, you're talking $500,000.
Barb said, did she say 26?
26, oh,
$26,000.
oh,
So
over
so we're
26,000.
paying $3,000 basically after we get our money back from the government. So
Yeah.
The work was performed by Snyder back last fall. And
Right.
they submitted the invoice, but for whatever reasons, the invoice was denied, and.
Because I don't think
Snyder
they
had
gave us
indicated-
this. I don't know if they didn't give us that at that time or whatever.
Snyder wasn't working on it. If you look at if you go on the website, they were sitting on it with nothing but draft proposals until recently.
Well, I would think that you would want to at least go over this with your current engineers to make sure.
Well,
that this
and
plan
we've got
is-
till July 31st. I mean, we can approve this even the 28th of July and still get our refund from the federal government. It's not,
Not in this fiscal year. Our fiscal year ends June 30th.
well, then we can have it on the 30th, what?
May 27th.
The
May
last
20, June. We got it till June
No, you got
30th.
could do it in June too, yeah.
second one in June.
that'd be June 23rd.
How many days it take to draw it down?
By the time payment within our account within 2 days.
Okay. So you would have your second meeting in June that you could still deal
I
with
mean,
this.
they charge us $29,000, give us one copy. And the guy that
Don't kill
finished
the
that
messenger.
program's not even with Schneider's.
I agree, this has been a fiasco with
think
some
how
of
much
our
you done
engineer
been
companies for some time, so, yeah. And we will try tomorrow to see what we can get on there.
Yeah, or
Of
even
that
if they can
book.
just get us more actual copies of the book. That way we can pass it around at least.
Call them and tell them we need 4 more copies.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, they might charge us another $8,000 a book.
What would you gentlemen like to do?
Table it.
Okay,
Don't do it for now.
I'd like to at least have
Just
our
don't take
current
any action?
engineers take a look at it and see
Okay.
if it.
we just will not take any action on that tonight and
Yeah, what if it's
move
not a
forward, try to
feasible
get
deal
you
in the first
copies and go forward with that. How's that sound? New business 19, review and discussion of the street rehabilitation project, and then a motion to approve the project. And Mr. Belding did make it in through the storm and has a presentation for us.
It did work earlier, so hopefully nothing has changed.
Yes.
It should work now.
Are you in control of the remote now?
I have power.
They put him in charge.
Ooh.
You might have the
Be on.
power.
It's blinking.
I think it has to warm up a bit before it.
Well, it's still flashing, so it's not
Yeah.
turned on.
They're
There
solid.
There it
How long is your presentation, do you know?
2 hours.
6 hours.
10 minutes.
Oh, good. I
It's
thought
not
if you
a long
I thought
one.
if you were gonna say an hour, I was gonna get my
Oh.
pillow.
I'll need another pop. I'll need another one.
Push the button, it's George Jetson, that's all he's gonna do.
Yeah, it's coming up now.
There it is. Birds on a wire.
Yeah, birds on the
Okay. Getting closer. Before I get started on this, your last 2 items you were discussing, I got a couple of things to throw out, might be helpful. On the airport plan, pretty much everything engineers do now, we can supply in a PDF format. So if you request a report in a PDF, they should just be able to send it to you. Same thing for the drawings, they should be able to provide electronic fairly simply, and it's actually cheaper and easier than trying to print up all that stuff and get it to you.
Thank
And then the street lighting, I don't know anything about the project, but I do know how to design street lighting. And what they do is they look at foot candles on a roadway. So they may try to get an average amount of light across the whole thing, and that may have been why they ended up with 29. Just because of the light level they were trying to get across the whole thing. But again, I don't know anything about the project, but I do know designing roadway lights.
Okay.
Leland Belden, Beanster and Kim Engineering.
Okay.
Yay, success. Okay. Once again, my name is Leland Belding, work for Beanster and Kim Engineering. And back in, I believe it was like December of 12, the Streets Committee interviewed a number of firms to put together a pavement management program for the city. So since that time, we've been working with